For about a century, the automobile was the ultimate symbol of freedom, the open road, the ability to just get in your car and disappear. But now we're being sold this dream of autonomous driving, a luxury lounge on wheels where you can sleep or work on your commute. And it sounds great, but I'm starting to wonder what happens when the steering wheel is actually gone.
Well, that's the multi-trillion-dollar question, isn't it? We are trading the open road for what you could call an algorithmic cage. We think we are gaining an hour of productivity, but we're surrendering our physical sovereignty. The moment we give up the right to drive, we give up the freedom to wander.
I've heard you mention this before, the death of the detour. It sounds poetic, but what does it really mean? I mean, my GPS already tells me the fastest route. How is this different?
It's fundamentally different. Your GPS today is a suggestion. You can ignore it. You can take a wrong turn on purpose because you see an interesting looking side street or want to find a better view of the sunset. A fully autonomous grid doesn't allow for whims. It optimizes for the macro efficiency of the entire city.
So you're saying my desire to take a scenic route is basically a rounding error in the system's grand calculation?
Exactly. In this perfect grid, your detour isn't a choice, it's a system error. The central AI is juggling 10,000 other pods. Your spontaneous decision to go down a suboptimal road creates a ripple effect of inefficiency that the algorithm is designed to prevent. It will simply override your request to maintain the flow.
That's a bit bleak. The whole idea of a road trip is about getting lost, and
It changes our entire relationship with the physical world. If getting lost is a prerequisite for discovery, what happens to human creativity when every path is pre-calculated for speed? Think about this. You want to visit your childhood home, but the neighborhood has declined. The central AI, using safety metrics or infrastructure data, has flagged that area as restricted. Your car, your pod will simply refuse to take you there.
so entire parts of the world could just what cease to exist on the map for the average person. Um, the system acts as a filter for our experiences.
Precisely. A world without wrong turns is a world where discovery is dead. We aren't exploring the map anymore, we are just being delivered by it. But this loss of discovery is just the beginning. The real concern is that the ability to move at all might stop being a right and become a permission you have to ask for.
Okay, that's a much bigger leap. We're used to our bank accounts being digital, but you're saying our physical bodies could be tied to that same digital identity. Today, if I own a car, I own my mobility.
Right? But in the future, mobility will be a service, a subscription, and is completely tethered to your digital identity and your social standing. Think about how easily a platform can deplatform you today for violating terms of service, or how a bank can freeze your account. Now apply that concept to your physical body.
You mean if I miss a payment or get a low social score, my car just won't start?
It won't even be your car, it's a pod you subscribe to. And yes, if your digital wallet is locked or you're flagged by an algorithm for whatever reason, maybe unpaid fines, maybe for attending a protest, the pod in your driveway simply stays locked. You're not arrested, you're just immobilized. You become a prisoner of your own GPS coordinates.
That's a chilling thought. But advocates would argue this is a feature, not a bug. They'd say it's for safety, to keep dangerous drivers off the road, or to make sure everyone pays their share. Is there any way to have the convenience without this built in kill switch?
That's the tension. The system is sold to us on the basis of perfect safety and efficiency. But the tool that ensures a drunk driver can't get on the road is the same tool that could prevent a journalist from reaching a sensitive location. The ultimate form of control isn't putting people in prison, it's making the infrastructure itself refuse to transport them. It's an invisible prison where the walls are made of code.
So your physical freedom effectively depends on a green light from a server somewhere. And I imagine that server isn't just checking your payment status, it's probably watching everything else too.
You've hit on the next layer. We used to sing at the top of our lungs in the car because it felt like the last private space on Earth. A fully autonomous vehicle is the exact opposite. It's a panopticon on wheels, a hyper advanced data harvester.
You're talking about more than just location data, aren't you?
Oh, much more. The seats have biometric sensors tracking your heart rate and stress levels. There are scales that know your precise weight. Internal cameras and microphones are constantly active, not just for safety, but for engagement. It knows who you travel with, what you talk about, even where your eyes are looking. Every physical interaction inside that cabin is converted into a data point and fed back to the central grid.
So if I'm heading to a job interview, the car knows I'm nervous. And on the way back, it knows if I'm celebrating or dejected. And it's probably trying to sell me something based on that mood.
Exactly. You're no longer a passenger. You are a moving data package being sorted and delivered. The commute is no longer downtime. It's an hour of forced engagement where the system is learning from you and influencing you. When you give up the steering wheel, you give up the last truly private physical space you have.
We're trading our privacy for a hands-free commute. It feels like for some people that price is just going to be too high. That must lead to some kind of resistance.
It will. And this leads to what I think is a fascinating future scenario, the rise of the analog outlaw. We're heading toward a time where driving your own car, a manual car, won't just be an eccentric hobby. On a grid optimized for 99.9% autonomous safety, a human driver will be classified as a critical threat to systemic efficiency.
You mean it will literally be illegal to drive yourself?
On public roads, almost certainly, it'll be treated like a reckless, dangerous act. But this is exactly where true autonomy will hide. The most rebellious act of the future won't be hacking a server, it will be gripping a physical steering wheel. An old off-grid mechanical car becomes the ultimate instrument of freedom.
So the new hero of freedom isn't a coder in a dark room, but a mechanic in a greasy garage keeping a 4-0-year-old truck alive.
That's the beautiful irony. The mechanic who can fix an analog engine is the one who holds the key. Because that old truck doesn't have a remote kill switch, the central AI can deactivate it or track it. The people who maintain the physical skills to operate machines without software will be the only ones who can still truly choose to disappear when the digital grid decides to lock them in.
It's a battle between the safety of the cage and the danger, or maybe the freedom of the open road.
It really is. So, to look at the big picture, we are seeing this final stage of the convenience tax, where we are not just giving up data, but our physical sovereignty, all for an extra hour of sleep. The very infrastructure we rely on becomes the new form of governance. It doesn't need to arrest you if it can just refuse to transport you.
And this creates a new kind of divide. It's not about rich versus poor anymore, but about who can operate inside the digital grid versus who has the skills to exist outside of it.
That's the real class struggle of the future. It's about who holds the keys, not the digital keys that can be revoked, but the actual physical keys to an analog machine.
We often talk about AI taking our jobs, but the more immediate risk might be AI taking our coordinates. We are sleepwalking into a world where we are no longer agents of our own movement, but merely inventory being managed by a global logistics engine. The ultimate irony is that we will call this luxury right up until the moment we want to go somewhere the system hasn't authorized. If you want to remain free, hold on to your analog skills and your mechanical tools, because the day is coming when the only true freedom left will be the ability to steer your own ship, even if it means taking the wrong turn on purpose.